on these books that you have seen so far are white, bright, beautiful, clean, supple, and white. So we're going to talk about this book. This is ASM number 1. And Kevin, what year did that book come out?
This 1962, I think, wasn't it about right? Yeah, I think that was it.
And who is the artist and the writer?
These are Steve Ditko and Stan Lee, and Ditko was the illustrator. It's one of the early pieces that Jack Kirby didn't really have a lot to draw on.
Well, guys, I'm going to turn this over to Kevin and Mark because I believe there's a little bit of history and story that might be a little bit of comic. You never know with these two guys what kind of stuff is going to come out of their mouths, really. I don't. But that's why I wear Depends when I'm around them, because I never know when I'm going to start pooping kittens. But I'm going to turn this over to these guys and let them take this wherever the heck they want. So, Kevin, Mark, it's all you guys.
Our grandfather had died in Oregon, and we got out of school, and we all us boys and my dad and mom, we all went to Oregon for this funeral. And while we were there, Mom decided that we all needed a haircut. You know, you can't go to a funeral without a good haircut, you know. So we went to this little barber shop in Portland, Oregon, and like most things, they have a stack of magazines and stuff, and I reached down and picked up a comic book and go sat in the chair and started to get my hair cut, you know. And then after he finished, I asked the barber, I said, can I buy this comic from you? And the guy goes, what, you want that comic? Yeah, you can just have it. Go ahead and take it. And of course, my brothers are looking at me going, what are you, crazy? It's a sad sack comic book. What would you want with that?
That's what we saw him reading. It was sad sack.
You know, and so I got out to the car and I opened it up and showed him. It was actually Spider-Man #1, where somebody had folded the cover back and pasted and stuck a sad sack cover over top of it, evidently to hide what they were reading. You know, it's the only thing I could figure out.
Remember I said he was the lucky one?
Yeah, there you go.
So
We're taking him to Vegas after this, guys.
So I was able to get a hold of a Spider-Man #1 for free back then, which was kind of crazy because.
And you know what the problem with this whole story, the moral of it, is that he won't give it to me for free, no matter how many sad sacks I try to give him. That's shameful.
That's just, yeah.
He didn't even pay 12 cents for that, guys. Did you hear that? He got it for what? F-R-E-E. That's a capital F, little r, little e, little e. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So
That's funny.
It was a good deal, you know, to be able to find stuff like that.
And what about the next one? We got something on the next one. I heard something about some naughty pictures maybe that were involved with this book.
We would go visit. We would go visit our aunt and relatives in San Diego, and you have to understand this is before the comic conventions. This was before any comic stores. This is before any of that stuff was happening in San Diego. And we would go downtown, like we'd been doing in Denver, to the old bookstores. And you dig around in the old bookstores and so forth. Well, my aunt went with us and came into the store. And of course, it's a bookstore, an adult bookstore in San Diego with sailors that, you know, they had a base for sailors there.
Yeah, just used books, and of course they sold pornography. They sold all kinds of magazines.
Nudie
Come
magazines.
on, God. We don't say pornography in an interview. These videos aren't for children. We say they're women in their nudie boots, banana suits, whatever. But birthday suits.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
All kinds of magazines.
There you go, all kinds. We had a variety of women on the walls.
And I remember our aunt saying that she was pretty amazed that we didn't stop and look at any of these magazines. We went straight to the counter and asked the guy if he had any comics.
That's what we were there for.
And he
right.
dug a box out from under the counter and I found this one, and we found a few others around this time period. And then back then we paid 50 cents or $1, maybe up to $2 for
And at the
a book
age,
like this.
your age at this time.
We were about 16.
15, 16.
So still
15,
around
16.
16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
The mid to late 60s.
Yeah, we didn't have jobs or anything, so we were
You were bums looking for comic books.
basically, yeah, we cleaned, we shoveled walks and cut weeds and whatever you do to get money.
Something that people ask you to do. They will work for food. You guys were working for comic books.
Basically.
That's all we did.
That's awesome. So for all you young people who aspire to will work for food, work for comic books. It's much simpler. I promise you. People either look at you as you're crazy or you just want expensive paper.
You don't need to eat.
Yeah, you don't need to eat. To hell with that.
Buy comics.
Okay, and the grade on this Amazing Spider-Man #2, with a press, the reds are really bright, the pages are white. That rhymed. I would put this at about a 9.0. Probably, maybe right now an 8.5, 9. It could have the possibility of being a 9.2. This book is very clean. The spine is very nice. The corners will cut you. So, Kevin, I want you to turn that around. I believe there's another special on the back. This is Amazing Spider-Man #3. Of course, you all know that this is the very iconic Doc Octopus, his first appearance. The only problem with this book is the bottom open side corner. It does have a very small triangular color breaking crease. But even with that said, White Pages, a beautifully crisp spine, and all the other 3 corners are beautiful. I would grade this one at a mere 8.5. And if you want to know what these books are worth, based on my grades and my assessments, please look them up, and I promise you, they will beat the price that you see. These books will break records because these gentlemen are the original owners, the original readers, and they have been in their collections for 50 and 60 years. And these books aren't going anywhere. So let's hear about these. We have #3 coming up. We have, after that, they're going to talk about #4. Then they're going to flip around #4 and they're going to show you #6. #4 is a very high grade 992, could get higher. And the #6, First Lizard, is extremely high grade, that light gray to gray, perfect spine, absolutely beautiful book, could get a 9.2, maybe even a 9.4. So I'm going to turn this back around and I'm going to let these gentlemen loose and let you have some more history of Amazing Spider-Man and what Kevin and Mark Robinette have to say about it.
You know, the thing is, when we were getting the books, we were just trying to fill the hole that we had in the collection because, like I say, we started late because the distributor in the Denver area was not distributing Marvel comic books. So we would look anywhere we could to find books that we didn't have. And if it was in great condition, we'd buy it. If it wasn't, we'd buy it anyway just to have it. We wanted to read the stories. And it's just fortunate that we live here in the Denver area where the air is so dry, and we've kept them in basements or wherever where they stay out of the sun and stay cool, but they do have the wider pages because of the lack of humidity. This has always been one of my favorite stories.
I want you guys to
love that
really look at.
Sandman.
I want you guys to really look at that book. How many of us have seen ASM #4, the first appearance of the Sandman, and it's absolutely crushingly destroyed, foxing, shadowing, Marvel chipping on every edge. This book is absolutely beautiful. The colors are very, very vibrant. The yellow and the Spider-Man shows no shadowing, no foxing. The 4 cells on the cover of this book are absolutely pristine. This is the true definition of high-grade Silver Age.
Now, I don't remember where I got mine. Do you remember where you got yours?
This was in the San Diego.
that same
Yeah,
San Diego
I did buy a bunch of them. You know, because we'd earned that money cutting the weeds.
That's right.
And tell people what you robbed them when you bought these books. How much did you pay for Amazing Spider-Man?
The most expensive was $2.
Yeah, these
you guys heard that correctly. He did say $2.
These were more expensive. These were not garage sale items.
No, we bought these at expensive bookstores.
Expensive bookstores, $2.
What I find interesting is that they had all the, shall we say, risque magazines out in the open, and yet when you asked them about comic books, they pulled them out from under the counter in a box.
Like the comic book was the nasty book, and the nasty
They didn't
book
want
was
anybody to
the
know they
comic
sold
book.
them.
Yeah, exactly. They were ashamed to have comic books, but they weren't ashamed to sell nudie boot books.
That's about it.
This first appearance of the Lizard is one of the most iconic early Silver Age Spider-Man books, where they're making the descent, and it's just, this book is absolutely beautiful. The grays do not break color. This is another one of those books that you would just look at and pray that you could find one in this quality and put it in your PC. So we're going to end with this book. They're going to tell you a little bit about this book and where they might have got it. And of course, to put you in more tears, they're going to tell you what they paid for it. Mark, Kevin.
Well, that was one of the group, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably,
Say
but it
figures.
wasn't $2. That one was only $1.
So this one was $1, guys.
Yeah,
So they talked them down from $2 to get it for $1.
probably because it was all the way up to
Number
issue
six. Yeah, see, it was an older book. It was number 6.
We never argued or bargained with them. We were happy to see them. We wanted them. We just paid them what they asked if we could afford it.
The sad thing is we didn't have enough money to buy the rest of it.
No, we
There was
spent
so
what we
much
had.
stuff. There was Iron Man's and all that other stuff that we had to leave because we could only cherry pick what we need, what
And
we could afford.
sometimes there would be duplicates that, man, do we wish we had bought those?
Oh,
but
They're guys,
we only had so much money.
they're not
We were-
happy
we were
with
kids.
just having one, okay? They wanted duplicates, okay?
Well, we would have sold one to you, John.
Yeah, for the expensive of $3.50, which means they're making a profit of $1.50. Man, I wish, because I got like $5 in my wallet. I'll buy 2. Guys, this has been Big John, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little ASM history lesson with the Robinette Brothers. But we're going to stop it right there, but we're going to be back shortly, and we're going to show you a few powerhouses that have really started to gain a little speed here lately, and these guys paid all of 12 cents for them. This is Big John, and I'll be right back.